Women who have given birth. What's something no one told you about it and wish you had known? Apparently some doctors are really excited when they see a good placenta. Well, a compliment is a compliment, I guess. Thanks, I made it myself. Everything can get. If your water breaks and you have a slow leak, there'll be fluid at home, in the car, in the waiting/tridge area, in your room, in the hallway, in the bathroom. Combined with all the blood loss and peeing yourself, and it's almost like a slip and slide trying to get around. They gave me a big chuck pad to put between my legs, but it was kind of pointless because it wouldn't stay up unless you held it. When my water broke, it was blood, so I had blood in my bed, blood all over my bathroom, bloody clothes, bloody towels. My house looked like a horrible crime scene. I had a placental abruption at 2 AM on Halloween morning. The horror fan side of me thought this was ironic. Once I stopped panicking, I'd assume it was INY from all the blood. The first time you get up after a C-section is hell. Absolutely hurts so bad and your incision takes weeks to heal if not months. Being awake during your C-section and you feel all the tugging and pulling inside you. The nurse described it to me as being like having someone do dishes in your abdomen, and that was the most horrifying accurate way you could put it. Doctors were all up in there like a person at a rummage sale. Your uterus continues to contract after delivery to get back down to pre-prego size. It's pretty painful, worse than menstrual cramps. And breastfeeding really kicks the contractions into high gear. Also that thing the nurses do where they squeeze your uterus from the outside periodically after baby is out. What ups, I know they're doing their job and it's for my own good, but that made me want to punch my otherwise kind and gentle caretakers. It was almost worse than labor and delivery. Almost. I'm a midwife, and every single time I do this, I'm whispering I'm sorry, so sorry frantically the whole time. I know it hurts, and I hate it, and I'm sorry. A lot of women throw up. I have a vomitophobia, and was not aware of this until about a month before I was due. Luckily there are drugs you can take that help. I managed to avoid throwing up with a lot of drugs. Also the pain wasn't as gradual as I was expecting. I went from this is fine to this is not fine, make it stop in maybe half an hour. But then you have to wait before they can get you set up with an epidural. So it's hard to avoid that not okay period entirely. Thanks for sharing. I also have vomitophobia, and I didn't know this. Can I ask you, how do you deal with your child getting sick / the fear of them getting sick? I think about that a lot. I don't have any kids. With my daughter the first few times she got sick I was a wreck. Since then though it has got better. I'll initially worry, but after that it's more adrenaline to get her in the bathroom and tidy up than it is pure panic. I've gone from not being in a room with her to holding her hair back over 4 years and she's not been all that much. It's still tough if my husband is ill, but for my daughter it's semi-okay. It hurts to pee afterwards, but if you lean forward on the toilet then the pee goes away from the most painful areas. Also try and time your pain relief around trips to the toilet or other strenuous activities. You can also spray water between your legs when you pee, and it dilutes the past, so that it doesn't hurt as much. I wish I could dilute the past. I believe that's what vodka is for. I believe that vodka may be the cause. Your vagina is going to look like a nightmare after. Don't look at it or touch it. Put ice packs and medicine on it but don't investigate. I repeat, do not investigate. You'll just keep yourself up at night fretting over what happens if it never goes back to normal. But if you do choose to look, know that it won't look like your labia just lost the title fight forever. I tore a tiny bit on my labia, which they stitched, but a poop stain tore one of the stitches. Now I have a little notch like a torn cat's ear. Sigh. Eater, holy crap. This is now my top rated comment. Lol, I have one of these from a trimming accident with a pair of scissors. There is no energy powerful enough to illustrate the face I'm making right now, dear God. Prolapse and hemorrhoids. Your pelvic floor is sneeze pee is still a thing. I hired a personal trainer to help me lose weight and get stronger. Working out has really helped strengthen my pelvic floor and lessen my prolapse. I only have one baby, she's 4 months, and have some prolapse. I thought maybe after multiples, but nope. I plan on seeing a pelvic floor physiotherapist soon. Pelvic physiotherapy sessions should be included for all women as part of the birth package as they are in France. Most women don't, even this area can get therapy as any other muscles. Instead, we get the it's okay to pee your pants, just wear pads commercials. That you have the worst month-long period of your life after giving birth. I read books, took childbirth classes, and had no idea. Not a nice surprise. I bled for 12 weeks. I thought I was going to die lol. Midwife just says, well, everybody's body is different I guess. I'm forever grateful for iron tablets. Natural birth. 1. When you're pushing, the nurse or doctor will push the skin around where the head is coming out to try and help the baby get out. It was really distracting. 2. You might shake uncontrollably after giving birth for a little while. It's completely normal. 3. The first time you go to the bathroom after giving birth, the nurse will come with you and change your pad for you and show you how to use the squirt bottle while you pee so it stings less. 4. It'll sting when you pee for a little while, especially if you needed stitches. 5. When you are pushing your baby out, there will be zillions of people in your room. You won't care. 6. You also won't care if/when you poop. Scheduled C-section. 1. You will be brought to the room by yourself at first, so they can prep you. 2. They may start opening you up before the person you brought with you is allowed in. They will be able to see everything, if they so choose. Tell them not to look. 3. They still have to push the baby out and need to press on your chest to do so. You won't be able to breathe very well while they do so. 4. You can hear everything the doctors are saying. They needed to make my incision bigger because of my son's gigantic head, and they needed an extra doctor in the room because he was huge, 11 pounds 2 ounces and 2 days early. But we didn't know that until after. All we knew is that they were frantically calling an extra doctor in the room and frantically asking for extra scissors. There was a lot of commotion down there, and it freaked my fianc and I out big time. 5. The worst part about the section is the first time you stand up. I was on axes and the pain still took my breath away. That's all I can think of so far lol. The shaking after giving birth surprised me. I kept apologizing to everyone who was still working on me or the baby, but they said it was totally normal. I'd never heard of it before. I got the shakes too. I was really scared and I kept saying I can't stop shaking, but no one was really listening to me. Then the anesthetist came over. He was my guardian angel. He put his hand on my arm and told me it was okay. It was just the adrenaline and it would pass. Yes. My anesthesiologist was the only one that helped me feel calm and reassured me that the shaking was normal and it would pass. Everyone else in the room basically ignored me when I asked why it was happening. I had a nurse assigned to do nothing but stand next to me and give me assurance that everything was okay. She was amazing. I had a full-blown panic attack as soon as they started to close me up, and if it weren't for her I'd probably pass out. I had known about PPD and the baby blues, but it was honestly sickening to me how sad I was after getting home from the hospital. I had wanted a baby for so long. Finally had him, and then just hated it. I felt like, what did I do? Why did I do this? It was a shock. I had thought about just leaving, which was absurd. Eventually it went away, and I enjoyed my little boy. I mean, at the time though, I did love being a mom because I constantly checked on him, took pics and all that. But the depression you get can be surprising, considering how badly I wanted to be a mom, and then I'm like, I wish I was anywhere but with him. He is almost 4, and I'm so happy. Seeing him after a full day of work is probably the best feeling in the world to me. I just wish I had prepared mentally and for those challenging first weeks/months. Right there with you. It was like a war in my mind and heart. I want my old life back. I can't let anything happen to her. She's better off with someone else who will love her. Leave her outside in the rain. I just want to love her. These are a tame version of the thoughts I had. I was finally treated 4 months postpartum, and I wish I had done it sooner. I'm holding my second baby now, and this postpartum period is much better. Sometimes there are no contractions. If you have back labor, it's just my god, my insidious want to kill me extreme pain for several hours, instead of getting a little break between the contractions. That was sure swell to experience. I had back labor with my son, and for the first few hours I didn't even realize it was labor. Thought I just really needed to fart. And you're certain your son isn't a fart? Yes, but sometimes he's a little though. After you give birth there is this Wonder Rice Pack Pad sanitary napkin you get to use. It will be the most wonderful thing you have ever felt. You may also be afraid to have a bowel movement after labor. You won't want to push again. You don't have to labor while laying down. If you don't get an epidural you can walk, squat, and labor on hands and knees. Let gravity help. Don't think you are confined to the bed. My mother thought I wasn't eating because I was trying to lose the baby weight as soon as possible. About 5 days after birth she confronted me, said I was still skinny, I would lose the weight soon enough, and I need to eat to be a healthy mom. I looked at her confused. You think I'm not eating because I want to lose weight? I'm just scared to poop. Truth is I was eating very little, but I was so scared to poop I can understand where the concern came from. I pooped on day 7 and it wasn't that bad. I wasn't allowed to leave the hospital until I pooped, which is pretty standard policy around here cause they don't want to send women home terrified of pooping and then holding it and ending up making things worse. The standard time you're in the hospital is 3 days for an uncomplicated vaginal birth, 5 days for a C-section. I couldn't poop because I wasn't eating, because I just wasn't hungry, so I ended up taking a laxative. But it was a super gentle laxative that takes like half a day to work, which means it hits you when you least expect it. Lem tell you, thank God I was wearing an adult diaper cause I definitely ended up myself in my sleep. Fun times.